sharing your wisdom.
Thank you.
Pleasure, sir.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Season's greetings and best wishes for the new year and happy Diwali to all. Please welcome to AMTOI Dialogues Series 2, Session 5, Commodity Traders to Logistics Solutions Provider with Mr. Naresh Parekh, Managing Director, Parekh Group. The Parekh Group today is not just an organization, but an institution in our industry. Established in 1951, 70 years ago, they began as commodity traders and have today diversified into shipping, logistics, and hospitality. With 26 offices all over India and 3 overseas offices in Singapore, Malaysia, and Dubai, and backed by a team of over 2,000 professionals, Parekh Group is one of the leading family-owned corporates in the shipping and logistics industry, having 4 verticals in shipping services, logistics solutions, vessel owning, and hospitality. Today, we have with us Mr. Naresh Parekh, Managing Director of the Parekh Group. Naresh Bhai needs no introduction as is an extremely well-known personality in our industry. So we will dive straight into an extremely interesting Q&A session with him. Welcome, Naresh Bhai, once again. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Xerxes, for a wonderful introduction, and I'm all yours.
Thank you. Thank you. So Naresh Bhai, Parekh Group is, as I said, is an institution in our industry, and we always knew you as previously, or your identity was with Parekh Marine Agencies. You were one of the leading ship agencies for many decades. And then, as we all know, that the shipping agency was a dying business with most foreign liners opening their own offices. Many people were writing obituaries of all the old ship agency houses. Yet your group made a flawless transition into an LSP with multiple verticals spread across several aspects of the supply chain. How did you make this transition, and how did you foresee that this moment is going to come? As Parekh Group.
Well, I would say multiple reasons, but primarily you can blame it on our genes. See, if you look at our history, we were traders. My grandfather, my great-grandfather, they all were traders. We were exporters of black pepper and ginger, and we were importing dates from Middle East. So export from here to Middle East and return dates. So genius in the family at that time got an idea why we are paying trade. So that's when they went into owning wooden dhows, whereby our own cargo was carried both ways. So that was the first transition from trader to shipping. Okay. Coming back to your question, firstly, we are really very proud the way group has adapted and accepted the changes that have taken over in last 25, 30 years. And I can distinctly remember the wisdom of our late chairman Chotu Bhai, our other icon Suresh Bhai, in early 90s when the Indian economy started opening up. So it was becoming more and more clear that when economy opens up, a lot of other things opens up. And as we all know, whether it is shipping or forwarding or any other service related business, if there is no complexity, if it is too simple, there is no role to play. Okay. So that was the time in early 90s we realized that things are not going to be the same for a very long time. Whatever period the way it continues, let us continue, but we should be prepared for adaptation to the next level. Okay. And that is when the thoughts of the backward integration of the business struck to our senior management. And the process started sometime in late 1990s to implement that. So yes, leaving modesty aside for a moment, I would like to say that yes, we did anticipate well in time. We acknowledge the fact that this is the change which we can't fight. We recognize the reality that the only way you can survive is to adapt and to redevelop the product, which brings more value to what we have been doing. So this is how it all started.
Okay, great. No, that's good. It's been a very flawless transition and a very successful one at that. Yeah. So coming to my next question, actually you answered part of it that, you went into vessel owning, or it is wooden dhows for the trading for your own captive cargo. But after that, if I recall correctly, you also went into actual vessel owning.
That's true.
Normally people say never go into vessel ownership, etc. There are a lot of stories on that, but yet you went in it and were pretty successful in chartering and vessel owning. So what made you go down that dangerous path? And did you have any very heart-stopping moments? Because it's a very, very exciting vertical and things can go wrong very quickly.
If you know my background, I originally started my career as a broker. Okay, I started shipbroking division in our organization. And to sharpen my skills further, my family thought that I should be outside India. I should be based in London for some time. I was deeply engrossed in shipbroking. I was working in one leading shipbroking firm at that time in 87 in London. And the thoughts, the vision, everything revolved around ships and cargoes and everything. So yes, I would like to take credit or discredit for the fact that yes, I was the one who was very, very keen as far as ship owning is concerned. And I was pushing my family very, very hard for going into it. There was reluctance from the family for multiple reasons, like one you highlighted, that ship owning is not the business which you can do very easily.
Not for the
Plus, there has been history in the family of ship owning where I'm sure my seniors must have seen some really nasty experiences. So there was reluctance, but somehow the seniors said that, okay, you are adamant, let's try it. Now, as luck would have it, we bought our first ship in September 2023. Market changed completely from 2003, not 23.
Okay.
The bulk market changed completely in 2004, as you know what happened. We sold our ship in November 2008. After we signed the contract for selling at a very hefty premium, the market collapsed. The buyers backed out. And there was a lot of drama and arbitration and Court of Justice in London, and eventually we won that case. But yes, today, if you ask me to do ship owning, I would say it's not my cup of tea.
Well answered. Well answered. So, Naresh bhai, coming to the next question is, you branched out into hospitality as well, your group, with a wonderful hotel in Goa, one of my favorites actually. Yeah. And it's something totally unrelated to our line of business, also a very capital intensive business, also not a very cyclical business like ours. So what made you go into that? And you're not expanded further, I've noticed, from that one property. So what are your thoughts on that and giveaways on that?
Well, that hotel, I should not use the word accident, but it happened without planning. Okay, let me elaborate on this. So we came across this piece of land in Goa, which was very good, and we bought it. And there were many thoughts that we should do this, we should do that over there. What to do was not clear. So after the plot was bought, there was a lot of reluctance, being a conservative family. We have a lot of family members who are, a majority of them are pure vegetarian. We have a lot of family members who are teetotalers. So there was reluctance either to have non-vegetarian food or alcohol. And our late chairman Chotubai said that if there is a resort where there is no non-veg or no alcohol, I will not go there.
It's not a hotel, then it's a monastery.
Yeah, so it happened by accident. We started that project as a 3-star property, and then we thought, why not we do better and better and better, and eventually we ended up doing 5-star plus. It's a beautiful property, extremely well managed and well run by my cousin Nirav Parekh, who is in command of that hotel. And I must say that it's a matter of pride for the whole family. The way that hotel has been upkept, maintained, and run by Nirav and his team. Amazing. And I'm not sure whether it should go public, but we are very soon going to start work on our second hotel.
Okay, so you are expanding. Okay,
Yes.
okay. Good to know that. All the best for the same.
Thank
All the
you.
best. So my next question actually is a very crucial one. I mean, all our members in AMTOI are 99% family-owned businesses. And we have always seen that family-owned businesses in the second, third, fourth generation tend to, by and large, degenerate because there is more members, differences of opinion, new guard versus the old guard, and separate thought processes. But yet your family has stood the test of time. It's been 70 years. I think the third generation is now in the business. So what has been the secret of, and you're a big family. It's not only a small family, which is a joint family, but a huge number of people are in the family business. We see that it's not only grown with that, it's grown as a business family and it's grown as a business as well. There's a perfect sync, harmony. So what is the secret of your success there?
Small correction here. We are in our fourth generation. My both sons are already in business.
Okay, I stand corrected. Yes.
How should I elaborate on this? Fundamentally, I would say that the value and the systems which have been developed by our senior generation has been the main foundation for continuation the way we are today. There are certain things, certain way to do, certain things to do, certain things not to do. Those are like unwritten rules which were formed by our elders. And fortunately, everyone respects that. I am the eldest in third generation. And as you know, third generation are known as destroyers.
The story is different here.
To our good luck, my brother, my cousins, everyone, we all shared the same sentiments as far as family values are concerned and as far as the concept of the family business is concerned. So there has been a strong unity on this point that we have to somehow prove that we are not the destroyers. We are the one who can build up on the strong foundation which our earlier generation has given us. Okay. So it had been a very lengthy process. It's not something that has happened overnight. I think we have been working on for the last 10 years, 11 years, 12 years on this. Fortunately, things have all been sorted out. What we recognized was that the key to the continuation is to meet the aspirations of everyone as far as the new generation is concerned. See, if you look at our third generation, almost everyone is overseas educated. They are their thought process are much more modern than what our earlier generation was having. But in spite of that, once you recognize what are the aspirations, and if we can find the way to structure which meets everyone's aspirations, I think then it becomes very easy to address this problem. And I have to admit that the whole family has worked extremely hard with 100% commitment and dedication in addressing this issue. And we are really very proud that our fourth generation is here. As far as fifth generation is concerned, if they come, when they come, I'm quite sure I'm not going to be around at that time, so that's not my problem. So we are very happy with the way we stand today.
Rightly so. But you mentioned a very key word here, unwritten. So you do not have a written family constitution or anything. It's all as a matter of principle, as a caveat, which has been carried on from generations, or?
You see, if you see the growth of our family, particularly in the last 40 years, 45 years, like many other respected shipping families in our industry, has been very, very quick. Okay. So there was a phase in between where everyone was focused on developing the business. Okay. And it is very natural that in the process, you tend to ignore structuring certain things. So I would say until very recently, all family constitution understanding was purely moral and trust. Okay. Even today, if you see, our understanding is very, I would say, very narrowly documented, but still, as far as day-to-day operation is concerned, and the way we conduct ourselves, it all depends on the unwritten rules that the family has been following over the last 7 decades.
Fantastic.
So we are still not that professional. We are still very family-oriented organization. We have tried our best to find a balance between the family organization and the professional organization. And I would say we are very well balanced between the two.
I think so too. I think that's a perception shared by the trade as well. So, Naresh bhai, as we wind down, any key giveaway to the audience tonight, this evening, sorry, as to what they should be doing in the current market scenario? We just talked about it last week, how the things are going downhill a little bit after a very good 2 years. So what's your advice to the trade in general? What's your advice for the future?
If you look at shipping industry, I mean, it has been the most cyclical industry
in the
among
world.
any businesses. Okay. What has happened in last 2.5 years, minus last 2 months, has been an exception, not a rule. Okay. What was happening before COVID is the rule. What has started happening now is the rule. We are not absolute expert to predict how the market will be 3 months' time, 4 months' time, but everyone in this forum have got a feel the way things are going. Okay. And I think our old principle is still valid under the current circumstances, the current time also, and that is to anticipate the change, to adapt the change, forget about last 2.5 years as a dream, as a good dream. Okay. That was not a reality. And in this change, which has already started happening, and everyone in shipping industry is talking, that is also going to accelerate further. It's important to be prepared to adapt to that. Structure your business model whereby you add more value to it, and try to be as competitive as possible. I mean, there is no other.
Cut your coat to size. Absolutely. Cut your coat to size. Okay, Naresh bhai, last question. Actually, there are 2 parts to this question. Number one, you play golf, I know, and you're very good at it. Your wife plays as it as well. You have been to some of the finest golf courses in the world. How has golf helped you in your business and mindset and thinking?
Well, I have 2 minutes, then I would like to share a very interesting story. Yeah.
Yes, please go ahead.
Well, I was never playing golf. This happened about 10, 12 years ago. I was invited by one of my Hong Kong-based ship owner friend to Okinawa in Japan for the delivery of the new building ship. Okay. Now that Hong Kong-based friend is ship owner is an Indian gentleman. Okay. I can name it. I'm talking about Chelaram Group, Chelaram Group.
Of course.
So they had invited me. So when the invitation came, there was one free day. So they asked me that you have 2 options. Okay. Either play golf, because a lot of other people invitees were there, or there was a sightseeing tour taking a bullet train from Okinawa to Hiroshima and see Hiroshima. So being a non-golfer, I opted for the second option. So next day morning, everyone came down to the lobby, majority of them playing golf, most of them my friends as well from international shipping community. A lot of them had come with their wives as well. So all my friends who were playing golf, as they were passing by me, they were saying, thank you. Thank you for everything. Thank you for everything. So I was wondering why the hell these guys are thanking me. They sat in the coach and they went for the golf game. And after they left, I realized that that sightseeing trip to Hiroshima, there was me and 18 other ladies.
I was expecting that. Yeah.
Okay. So on that bullet train journey, I took a decision. The first thing I'm doing is to take a membership of a golf club and learn golf, because next time I don't want to be a tour guide to so many ladies. You know, it's not an easy job.
No, not it.
So golf is a wonderful game. Socially, professionally also. Now we have a lot of interaction with Far Eastern clients. Like you go to Korea or you go to Japan, the first question they ask is whether you're playing golf. If you say you are not playing golf, then you have a massive handicap over there. Professionally, it helped a lot. Personally, it helped a lot, particularly when your wife plays with you. At least we spend some quality time together that way, without arguing on smallest of the thing. Okay.
Hopefully.
We get a lot more holiday destinations together. So all our vacations are planned around golf nowadays. So my recommendation to everybody will be two things: start playing golf, and two, please teach your wives to play golf.
Both very difficult tasks, but yes, we take that advice. Second part of the question is, and we end last question. Who has been your inspiration in our industry? Whom has been your mentor, who you look up to?
See, this is a very difficult question, to be honest. I'll tell you why. Because fortunately, people like me and Mr. Barkamkar, and we all come from the generation where there were a lot of icons around.
A lot of stalwarts, yes.
A lot of stalwarts. I mean, if you look at that, if I talk of my family, I mean, Chotu Bhai, Suresh Bhai, they all have been
legends in their own right, yes.
Obviously, they've always been my inspiration. There's one gentleman I would like to name, whom I have met only once in my life, Mr. Naresh Kotak. Because our business model at that time was somewhat similar, though our scale was much smaller. So it was always an education, seeing what he was doing and how he was doing.
Yeah.
There are lots of other people. My dear friend DP Goyal is amazing. Learned a lot from them. He inspires me a lot. Not to forget, ever young, ever cheerful, Mr. Tushar Jani. The transition, what he has done, yes, for his company and his family, right from being a very small clearing house to where he stands today. He has been a tremendous inspiration. Yes. So we were blessed to have a lot of people around. If you look at them, we used to learn a lot from them. You feel that we want to be like them. So yes, there was no dearth of inspiration, and I'm very blessed to have so many people around who actually inspired me. Thank you.
Thank you, Naresh Bhai. Thank you very much for an excellent session. Really, really grateful for that. Thank you, the audience. I think our IPP will have a few questions. He always does. Sure. But if anyone else has any questions, please put in the Q&A chat box, and I will ask for and on your behalf. So Shantanu, over to you, please. Thank you, Naresh Bhai, once again. Fantastic session. Thank you.
Thanks, Ashish. Naresh Bhai, it was a very delightful exchange. So pleasure as always. I have two questions which I will ask you together. You can answer one after other or both together. See, your entire family is popular as trade friendly. You have been very friendly people, amongst the most friendly people in the industry. You have also been supportive to all our associations. all the logistics associations. My question is how you can help even more than what you have done so far in terms of guidance, bit handholding, mentoring, the upcoming or people who have little bit difficulty, how you can help them. May not be follow your path. Everybody has to seek his own path. I think following somebody's footstep is perhaps a big mistake, but helping people to discover themselves, follow their path. Secondly, it is part of the same question. I think the bigger part of your success is, or same like Tushar example you gave, he transformed from time to time in his lifetime. He has completely changed the character and nature of his business, and he is a different person also. I know Tushar for 35 years, what he was 35 years back and what he is today, even after starting Blue Dart, he's a different person. So, how can you help and how can you guide people just now with one or two only important things on transforming business? Because it's difficult to give up what you possess and move on to something else. Very difficult. So, floor is your Naresh bhai.
Okay. The first question you asked, I would like to answer in two parts. Okay. As far as helping other organizations are concerned, we have to recognize that the coexistence of all of us is the key. I mean, the industry cannot run, the industry cannot flourish without forwarders, without shipping agents, without shipping lines, without CHA, without CFS. So everyone has got their associations. That coexistence is the key, and that is the fundament on which the spirit of standing by every association is there. Okay. The second part of my answer on that is, how can I help further? Well, my thoughts are very clear on this, that the understanding and the way forward each associations of different segment of industry is taking is still not as much in sync as it should have been. Okay. And it is understandable. I'm not complaining about anything, because every association, every industry, every segment of industry has got its own agenda and priorities. My thoughts here are that unless and until we all together synchronize our act as one act, it is not going to strengthen any individual association or any individual segment of business. So I'm always available if there is any way we can bring better understanding and more closer coordination. I would rather recommend today, if AMTOI agrees, that the senior people from the different association must meet together at least once in 3 months over a glass of beer or a cup of coffee, or exchange the notes, even if those notes contains differences. That's fine. But this sort of exercise, I don't think we are doing, and I think we should do it in a structured and a formal way. Not only that will improve the understanding overall, but it will also send a very important message to the establishment in Delhi that we all are talking the same language. Okay. And the second question.
Before you go to next question, I have an announcement. I would request all the participants, particularly our committee members and all others, to put their questions either in Q&A or in chat. Our president will take over the right questions and ask. And after that, we will have open house of 5 or 10 minutes, but that won't be recorded. It's just a courtesy open house. But please start putting your questions right away before Naresh moves to the next question. Next question is about, just to repeat, transformation. You have seen not 1, 2, 3 transformation within your lifetime. Actually, COVID time and post-COVID time, will also be a transformation as we see because of digitization and host of things. So any two good tips, two or three maximum, how we will deal and how you have dealt with transformation, the key points.
Uh, First is strong. You strongly believe in the fact that the changes are going to happen every day, every month, every week. Don't try to fight those changes. Think of the ways of adapting those changes. Two, any business model, like any food product or medicine, comes with an expiry date. Okay, it comes with a shelf life. Okay. So don't live under the myth that I have a very successful business model today and it's going to last indefinitely. If you have a very successful business model today, think of doing something which adds more value, uh, like many other shipping groups in our industry. We also follow the model of backward integration. I think more value you bring, whether it is backward integration or forward integration or technology or anything, okay, you really need to start thinking now if you want to implement, say, after 1 or 2 years, because this is something which is inevitable, and that's the only way you can take it to the next generation.
Well, thanks, Naresh bhai. Xerxes, if you have questions received, we can take them or we can have open house and stop recording and let colleagues join for exchanging pleasantries.
I think there are no questions, so I think we can stop the recording. Naresh bhai, thank you once again. Really.
Thank you very much for inviting.
Naresh bhai, it
There is
was
one.
very insightful. Thanks for your sharing your wisdom. Thanks again and happy
Thank you
Diwali
very
once
much for
again.
calling. Thank you
There
very
is
much
one.
for invitation.